Hello, my name's Joe. Welcome to my channel where I help you make better coffee and I give you honest reviews. Today I have an honest review here from Good Brothers Coffee. They reached out to me. They sent me 2 bags. This is the first of the review that I will be doing on the India Mysore nuggets. But I want to tell you that I'm going to keep it honest. I'm not going to let that kind of take into consideration my review. I'm going to, give it the score I believe in. But on top of that, they did give me a discount code to give to you. So if you go ahead and click on the link below, when you go to checkout, go ahead and type in Joey in the discount code section, and you'll help me out, and it'll give you a discount. So let's get started into the review. This is India Mysore nuggets. It says, I'm going to start. Whoop. I'm going to start reading these here. So I normally don't do this, but I've already read it, so I'm going to read it off. It's they say the tasting notes are cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. So I'll be the judge of that, and we're going to find out, how if this lives up to it. I have been tasting a little bit. I've been dialing it in, kind of, messing around with it a little bit, doing different extractions. I think I came up with a pretty good extraction, which is a little longer than you'd expect. I'm doing 16 grams into the portafilter, and I'm gonna pull about somewhere between, it is hard for me because right now I got this Gaggia Classic Pro, and I can't fit this under here with a cup. So I'm gonna go mostly off time, and I've been finding that this is actually pretty good at around 35 seconds, which is kind of longer than your normal extraction, but that's where I found that it works for me. So, we'll see if it still holds up to that. So for this, we're gonna tar this in here and make sure this is set to grams. Again, we're shooting for 16 grams in. Is it weird that I have 2 espresso machines and this one is just a grinder, basically? Yes, but that's how we're rolling today. So I'm at 15.3, gonna hit this for a couple more seconds, and let's see how that is. Probably over. Yep, slightly over. So I'm gonna grab a spoon here, pull 0.5 grams out. Yep, that's perfect. 15.9, we'll call it. I think it's probably on the upper limits of 15.9. So let's kind of tamp this around. I like to just kind of hit this. Again, I'm new with this Gaggia Classic Pro, so kind of give me a little bit of a break if you are so inclined to. All right, so then I'm gonna give this the old tamp, polish, and this Gaggia Classic Pro, as a pro tip, does get very hot. I think it over boils, I think, a little bit. So I just let that sit out until a little steam comes, and that should probably be pretty good. I'm gonna wipe the bottom, make sure there's no liquid or any coffee grinds sitting there. Pop that in, and let's put this shot of espresso underneath there. So I'm gonna use my handy dandy stopwatch here. We started the extraction, and I'm gonna judge this too. If I'm feeling like it's blonding a little earlier than I was expecting or something, I will change it up. Oh man, does that look pretty. Now I will say that it is extracting to the left a little bit more, so it might be some channeling or something, but I think it's gonna be all right. It came together pretty quickly. This is at 21 seconds. Now at 30, and right at 35. Okay, so let's give it a quick stir. Give you a little shot of the beans here. I am a big fan of the look of these beans. I like how developed they look. They smell very good. I'm gonna actually open the bag. I have a hard time smelling it when it's open like that, so I actually like to use a bag so I can do this. See, now, they didn't mention any wood on here, but in the beans, I definitely get a nice woody smell, almost like maybe a cedar, something that's maybe even been like, imagine like walking through a forest, a bunch of downed wood. It's just kind of come up. That's what I think of. And yeah, I do get a little bit of cinnamon off the note on the smell there. So let's go into the coffee or espresso. It smells so sweet. That was one thing I noticed as I pulled my shot this morning, and that's what I've noticed throughout tasting this shot, is that it's very sweet. Now, I will say it might be due to the extraction. I'm going a little bit longer, so that typically enhances the sweetness, but also can enhance the bitterness. So realize that. Again, a little bit of that cinnamon. I'm not really getting vanilla yet, but let's take the first sip and see what happens. Sorry if I kind of look away a little bit. I'm just trying to get an idea of what I'm tasting here. First notes are sweetness. I wouldn't call it a vanilla sweetness, but maybe sort of a cereal, sort of like morning breakfast sweetness. So maybe you'll get hints of vanilla there, but yeah, for me, I'm getting kind of like that grainy sweetness. And then it's definitely followed, on the back of my mouth, I have a little bit of a cedar type wood, maybe tobacco, hints of tobacco, which would make sense with something like this. Vanilla and cinnamon, when you kind of get to those warmer notes, you might get some tobacco flavor. So that's what I'm getting. Second sip. On that second sip, as I let it develop more on the middle of my tongue, I get a little bit of nutmeg. So it is, I do kind of get that. The only thing that I'm really not getting a lot of is the vanilla off the flavor notes that they're calling out. Maybe I have a broken palate, I don't know. Or again, I'm pulling this as an espresso. Maybe they're talking about if you pull it as coffee, or maybe if you just changed the parameters here. Unfortunately, I can't control temperature. I can only control time on this in this situation, and dose. So yeah, it's very, very good. So I'm gonna give it a score. They do a lot of organic, they do a lot of fair trade. Good Brothers Coffee. They're family owned, small company out of Michigan. So definitely consider picking these guys up. I think it's a really, really good company to buy from. I have a discount code linked below, so go ahead and use that. It is just type in Joey at the end, and when you go to order, and you'll get a discount of, I think, 20%. As far as the score, I'm going to give it a pretty high score here. I like it a lot. This is going to probably get an 8.9. So I'm going to give it an 8.9, and then on the green score for them as a whole, I'm going to give them an 8. They do air roasted coffee. They connect with some farmers on many blends, and they also use fair trade organic on a lot of different blends as well. So consider buying it. I really like it a lot, and again, the discount code is Joey, and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.